right. Ever wonder how teachers turn their classroom experience into, say, a $45,000 contract or maybe a $9,000 contract? Well, I want you to meet Felicia of BeHeard Consulting. And what I love about Felicia is she not only closed her first contract, but then she closed her second contract back to back. And today she's going to pull back the curtain to talk to you about how she did it, but she's also going to give you some resources for those of you who are wondering, how I can get the chaos in my classroom settled down and to be a lot more confident. Of course, I'm gonna let Felicia tell y'all about it, but I gotta let you know these schools are paying her to come in and to do the work, and out of the kindness of her heart, she's also giving back to other teachers because she knows that this methodology that she uses, it works, it's strong, and she understands how some teachers are suffering in classrooms that are chaotic, and she wants them to get their confidence back. So let me come on and bring Felicia in. Felicia, hey, good evening. How's it going?
Hey, Dr. D. It's going great. Thanks for having me on tonight. Um, you're exactly right. I love sharing with teachers because just like the older folks would say, it takes a village. So it takes all of us. And I think I have enough to go around and spread to everybody. And then once they get a hold of kind of this be heard magic, easy to implement strategies, ways to build relationships with students, they can just pass it on. So it's like the season that we're in now, spring. We're just going to pass on the blooms, pass on the seeds and the pollen so that everything can begin to bloom. Really excited to be here with you today.
All right, awesome, awesome. So let's talk just for a moment about these contracts you just closed. So you closed a 9,000 and a $45,000 contract. First of
Yes.
all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And both of these was after Iman, after um, you helping me with my pitch and also developing a framework because I have been doing consulting for a while, but I've been working with a couple different larger companies, and it was certain things that from my perspective that I didn't know I actually needed in order to really kind of full-fledged into consulting. So after you really helped me with my pitch and really kind of putting together a package, because I didn't have a package. I was doing all kinds of things. But these are two contracts that I won once I put the Believe framework into action. So the Believe framework really helps teachers to believe in themselves, believe in the process, and believe in their students. And because of that, they are able to build up their confidence. And then once they have that confidence built, it's like the rainfall. It's going to spread down to their students, and then everybody is going to be excited to learn. You're going to have engaging strategies. The relationship is going to be there. And once those things are in place, you can dive deep into the high expectations, into the rigorous task, and make sure that your students are problem solving, critical thinking, and all the things that we really wanted them to do from the beginning, but you didn't have that relationship established and you were not able to really engage them.
All right. So you're being paid to go into these other schools to do exactly what you just talked about. So, what classroom tested strategies from those projects are you bringing or sharing with teachers in your upcoming workshop that you'll be hosting for free for the teachers who need to attend, as well as that they can share with other people to get this good work that she's being paid these good dollars for?
Yes. So some of the things that I'm doing right now, since it is April 15th, tax day, and it's also my dad's birthday.
All right.
So
Happy
because
birthday, Dad.
thank you. Because it is the middle of April now, and lots of schools will be closing within the next 6 to 7 weeks, I am helping schools finish strong. So
Mm.
we're at the spring break. So I don't know about everybody else, but in the South, we get some of that spring fever going and classes are popping. So if you don't have those students engaged, all of that energy that's balled up, that's ready to get outside because the sun is shining, it's going to show up in your classroom, and you're not going to be able to manage it. And testing for a lot of schools is within the next 4 weeks. Somewhere along the next 4 week spectrum, a lot of schools are testing. So after testing, some students think it's over. So I'm coming in to help you really finish strong, because once you turn the students are loose, it's hard to get them back, especially at the end of the year. So we need to think about, what have we done all year and what strategies can we implement? Gamification is one of them. And that's one of
Mm.
the easiest ways for you to engage the students, to get to use all of the strategies that you've been working towards mastery this year, and just let's bring them all back in. Let's make it challenging for the students. And the thing is, you thought I was talking about you putting together a Wheel of Fortune or some other kind of game. We're going to turn it back over to the students. You thought about that. You,
Mm.
you need to talk to BeHeard, because we put it in the students' hands. Do you want to lead tired, or do you want them to lead tired? Do you
Okay.
want, are you the one that's engaged, or do you want them to be engaged and on task? So let's put it back into their hands. And that's what we do at BeHeard Education. We make sure that everything is student centered. We make sure that the students are involved in the lesson. We make sure that they're engaged and the relationship is already built. Once you have that foundation set, it's so many different things that you can do. And we always have to remember that we are preparing kids for a future that doesn't exist. When I was around, we didn't have all this AI going on. So just
Mm-mm.
think, kids that's around now, they have this, it's AI now, but what will it be later? What other
Right.
kind of jobs will be available? So we have to really prepare them for things that don't exist yet.
Wow. Okay. So that was a gem that you dropped right there, because a lot of times it's that control factor where the teachers want to control everything, and we leave exhausted. And
Mhm.
you're saying you're going to show them how to allow the kids to do the work, the kids to have the fun too, but it also cuts down on the chaos.
Cuts down on the chaos. And if you just want to kind of look at some things now, look at some maker spaces. So, teachers, I challenge you to look at maker spaces, and you could just Google it and kind of see what it is, and that will help to get you started. But then you're going to need some strategy, and you're going to need some coaching around it, just to make sure that the way that you implement it is going to be effective. Because if it's not, then you're going to say, this is not going to work. But really, it was the implementation of it. What strategies are you using? How did you set it up? So that's where BeHeard comes in. So we can really help you to build and design those end of the year activities.
Okay, so for teachers who are tuning in, who feel overwhelmed, by student engagement right now, students are not engaged. They're ready. You already said it's spring. They're ready to go outside and play. What's one simple change that you'll teach in your workshop that they will be able to implement tomorrow?
So when you think about the relationships that you have with students, and it may be some of the students that have become a little reluctant, I would challenge you to use the 5 by 2 strategy. So take
Mm,
a week, 5 days, and spend 2 minutes with that student. Get to know that student a little bit differently, because we all know that around Christmas time, students change. Everybody kind of matures a little bit and get ready for the next grade. So maybe something has happened, if there was a change, or you just didn't have that solid relationship from the beginning. So I would challenge you, for the next 5 days, just take 2 minutes out and try to get to know the student a little bit better, and allow the student to get to know who you are. And then that relationship is going to be solid for the end of the year. And then you can use that strategy as you start next year, in order to really make sure that you get to know your students, because you can't really teach who you don't know.
well, y'all need to be getting signed up for this workshop, or on her email list, because you can hear that she knows what she's talking about. And even if it's not you who are having, maybe some classroom chaos issues, maybe another teacher that is having that type of issue, or maybe a principal who's having, who has a teacher who's having that issue. Let's get them some information. Tell us about this resource or this workshop that you are supporting teachers with for free because you do understand where they are in the work right now and you want to provide some relief.
Mhm. And then we just sometimes we bring in some old school strategies as well. And that's kind of where that seasoned teacher comes in at, because find out what the kids want to do. Give them an interest inventory. Work together with them, and then you can make sure that they are invested in what you're doing. And that way, it'll also help you to close the year strong. So between gamification, working on your relationship strategy using the 5x2, as well as bringing in an interest inventory for this season of the year, those three things will help you kind of get through the year. But we have several other strategies in our toolkit that will also help to make sure that you're balanced out for the end of the year and you're ready to start next year. We also do summer programs. So some of the schools get started right away. We begin working through their curriculum at the end of the year, looking at their assessments, figuring out what should be the priorities for the following year. And then some schools kind of wait until July and August, and then we do kind of a pre-planning so that they have everything mapped out, procedures, management, how you're going to build those relationships for the beginning of next school year. So we have several different programs that we use. Some run for the entire year, and some we make sure that depending on what season it is, we kind of bring those programs in.
Okay. So you have a free resource for them and you're going to invite them later on to a workshop that you're going to do.
Yeah.
Tell us this. So you said it was free. You know how people sometimes are like, oh, it's free. It ain't, she ain't finna give us nothing. But what is it? What's the real cost of missing out? So you're doing this absolutely free. So how will the teachers' classrooms look different after they apply what it is you share?
So when you go from chaos to confidence, everything begins to change. Not only does the behavior begin to change and you begin to build relationships, but you also understand how to reach your students a little bit differently. So you're able to tackle those standards a little bit differently and master those quicker as well. So now the students are confident because they're mastering the standards. You're getting through. Your scores are not the lowest one when you go into the testing room and all of the scores are posted on the wall for everyone to see. So now everyone's confidence is built. So by implementing these programs, we just go from chaos or not being certain or not having a certain structure to really being able to manage it effectively each day.
And I know that that really matters, especially at the end of the school year, because even I can recall the years when I closed the year out strong. Everything was in order. The kids didn't just run amok. I wasn't just showing movies until the last day because, you know, when you show those movies, that creates a lot of arguments and kids trying to fight, folks creating chaos. And so when I actually put in time and close strong, I was able to march out into the summer and I felt really good. But when I didn't do that, oh my goodness, it took me like 2 weeks to really get into my summer break, although I was really ready for it.
Yes, it's like one of those things where you just have to woo-saw. And with these programs, it's going to be the end of the year before you know it. And you're going to be like, where did the time go?
Oh, they already on the countdown. You know, these
They
teachers
are
are already
already on
counting down.
the count.
So tell us, I just put your link in the chat. So
Okay.
tell us what it is that you're giving them and what it is they need to do.
So I am giving you some handouts about the Believe framework. So the Believe framework is just believing in yourself, making sure you have that engagement there, the learning strategies. How do you inspire and innovate your students? Tapping into that emotional intelligence, which is SEL, giving them vision. So not just what's happening right now, but what's going to happen later on this week, this year, and for years to come. And then that empowerment so that they really believe in themselves. So I added in some strategies that you can use for formative assessments as well as some engagement strategies, because it's all about how you are connecting with the students and are they involved in the lesson. So I added some of those. Once you download the handouts, I'll be able to send you more information about the master class, going from classroom chaos to confidence. And I would love for you to join me in that master class so I can share some additional strategies with you and then really partner with you or your school so I can provide some additional instructional coaching, professional development, and other support for you to make sure that um, you are an effective teacher, your lessons are effective, the students are mastering what they should, and if you are an administrator, what do you need to look for as you're going in to support your teachers instructionally?
And just as a little flex, when we talked to you last week, you were in the beautiful state of Hawaii. What were you in the territory of Hawaii? What were you doing there?
Actually, there I am working with a school building curriculum. So we're building curriculum. They did not, you know, it depends on where you are. Some may say schools don't have a curriculum, but it's different schools at different levels all over the country. So this particular school, we're working with them with building curriculum as well as how to implement the curriculum. And then the next phase of the work will be on assessments. So making sure we have proficiency scales, making sure that we are aligning the assessments with the standards and that we are monitoring those to make sure that they are mastering them.
So y'all dealing with a real expert here. She's trying to share strategies with you all, help you to really be able to be effective in the classroom. It's a great resource and a great person to be in connection and communion with. So make sure that you download the resource that she's giving you so you can get on her email list so that she
Mhm.
can invite you to some of the master classes and workshops that she'll be doing. If you're with us live, give us a hey, what's up, what's going on? And if you have a question for Felicia, please feel free to put it in the chat. We're more than happy to answer questions that you may have because again, she's taking time out of her day to share with you all to try to make your days easier in the school system. We know how hard it is. We know that all of the students don't just come in, sit down, do what you tell them to do, and smile and act
When
like
they
they have lollipops and gumdrops. We know that that's not how it is, but you want to get instruction and support from a real educator who understands,
Mhm.
who's worked in high need schools as well as high achieving schools. So she knows how to move back and forth between the strategies for the different types of kids that you might have, as well as the different types of curriculum that you might be supporting. So, any words for the folks that you want to share before we sign off for the evening?
I would love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn, Felicia Be Heard there. You can connect with me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and it's all at Be Heard Edu, Be Heard Education. And as you can see, it's a play on my name, but it's also because we want students to be heard and to have a voice. Because as you can see, what's going on now, some people have become very voiceless. So we definitely want to instill that in them while they're in school and have our support. So then when they become an adult, they're able to really use their voice to activate whatever they need to activate in life. Um, and please download the handout so that I can send you more information. I told you Twitter, LinkedIn, and I'll see you there. And I'll also be on Dr. D's page. And thank you so much, Dr. D. This community has really helped support me in kind of just taking off to a new level. I'm actually traveling to Savannah tomorrow for a superintendent's conference, and I'm going with another one of the ladies from Iman. So I would really also encourage you to use Dr. D as a support, a resource, because the things that she had, the confidence that she has built in me just by putting her programs together and getting my pitches and these RFPs coming out. And it's just so much easier now to just go, because a couple months ago, I probably would be like, I'm not going to sit down. I keep wasting money going to do stuff. But this time I'm like, oh, I'm going and I'm going to connect with at least, because I got 20 color copies and I got 40 black and whites. So if you look like you're trying to do something, you're going to get this color copy and I'm going to follow up. Everybody else going to get this black and white and we're going to hope that they look at it again, because we got to help our students. It's the time now is critical. If we don't share our stories, if we don't be heard, then what's going to happen to the next generation? So I am here to help support you in your efforts. And the students appreciate you. We appreciate you. And don't ever give up. Continue to believe in yourself and believe in the students.
All right, y'all heard it from Felicia at BeHeard Consulting. And look, click that link, connect with her. Let's get this work, because we need to support our students, and especially in these trying times. And we need to support our teachers. Our teachers need help. A lot of things are happening in the school system, and you never know how sharing one Facebook Live or one YouTube Live can change a person's life. So I hope this has been helpful for you all. Felicia, thank you so much for sharing. And we will see y'all on the next Facebook